Hey folks, this is Chris again. And I'd love to share with you what we take on vacation. And I don't know if we've ever gone on vacation without taking these products. We love doing watercolor on vacation. But here's a disclaimer. I'm not very good at it, but I love it. To get good at watercolor, I'd have to spend hours and hours and hours. And I just want to draw and paint and do a little color outside and have fun. So I'd like to share with you how I do things in a few minutes and I'm out of there and it's finished. So I'd like to do some product review and also what I do. So, this is just a little bit of splashing some color down and a little pen and ink. And it's a scene in Bellagio. We're underneath the Swiss Alps in a lagoon or in a little area 500 feet from the Swiss Alps, going straight up on a restaurant on an island, and they're about to serve the most incredible 5-course meal underneath these trees with dappling light. And I'm just sketching with my brush, and all I do is I draw it in, do a little splashes of color and a little pen and ink. So I'd like to do some of the reviews with you of everything from what I use, how I do it. This is a friend of mine, Dylan. When he was with us, he did one in the morning, and they're just little sketches, turned it into a little card and wrote a letter to me and gave it to me. I know I didn't do this because when it opens up, it says Dear Chris or something like that. I know this isn't my painting, so this was Dylan's. That's actually a joke. He's one of the world's great watercolorists, and I'm not. I'm just sharing how someone who's not one of the great watercolors can have a great time doing watercolor. That's all I'm doing. This is a little watercolor unfinished in Venice with a little pen and ink in it, and it's just little touches. It's really just about enjoying the day for a little bit of a time while you're having lunch or breakfast and everyone's talking and you're just playing a little bit. So just gonna go through some of the stuff that I have, some of the things we do. Unfinished watercolor. This is a watercolor of Venice that I did with pen and ink. So I just kind of washed in the boats and then went in with a little pen and ink and wash it in. And what you might notice is I like to do things very small. They're not big, and I actually don't like them in sheets like this. My favorite are these little pieces. So what I'll do is I'll take some 300-pound watercolor paper, cut it up, a big sheet, 22 by 30, cut them up into little pieces, because when I have a bad one, it goes in the trash. You're never gonna see it. When I have one that I sort of like, then I'll show that off. So if I have a book or a journal that I'm drawing in, I'm so overwhelmed that I'm afraid I'm gonna ruin the page if that other page was good and now I'm doing this one. It robs me of that creativity and the joy of just doing it in the first place. So ripping up my papers into small sheets is a fantastic way of doing this. And we like these little mesh baggies. We think they're outstanding. We like the Winsor Newton traveling kit for watercolor. And I have it laid out here where it's already open and ready to go. I do change the colors, and I have a list of the colors that I like preferentially. I match the colors I use in oil paint, so it's the same for me. And so I am going to change these little things. These things pop out, these little squares, and you can buy the individual colors, or you can remove them with some water individually and just drain it and then refill it with the tubed watercolor. That's up to you. So because of that, I'm not a big fan of the colors that come in this kit. Winsor Newton makes the kit, and they sell two variations. They sell a professional line and they sell the Cotman student grade line. So in watercolor, there's two different levels. There's the professional Winsor Newton, and then there's the Winton, or sometimes it's called Cotman, is their student grade. And I think they have a lower line under than that as well. So since I'm changing colors, I don't buy the professional line. I'm changing all the colors anyhow. I can't use what's in there. They're giving me colors that they know once I get better, I'm gonna replace and have to buy from them. So why not just spend as little as possible? And I think these things are incredibly inexpensive. And then I just buy a few colors and I'm good. And so that's what's in my kit, one of these. This is my wife's, so she always seems to have some kind of hand wipe. That's weird. Our magic erasers, by Prismacolor, where we stick them in the Faber-Castell carrier to keep it clean. That goes in there. We do use traveling brushes. And the reason we like this is for a couple reasons. Is you get 4 brushes of different sizes, and become very large brushes, and then they fold down and become very small. And I'll have to look up what I bought. I don't think there's much of a difference for people like me. I'm not selling a watercolor for $20,000. I'm just trying to put water down with a little flavor of color, and that's it. So I'm not gonna get too hung up with the brushes. My paint thing is leaking though. Oh, I love these containers. What a great review. I love these containers. And I've had this one for years, and out of the blue, it is leaking for the first time ever. It's got to be 20 years old. So I have heard of some of them leaking when they come from the factory. So when you buy it, you then immediately check it out, make sure it's good. Why do I like it? Because it folds up into nothing, and then it opens and holds my water. This is the first time it's ever leaked. Better now for you to see it than when you're in Italy and you're at the dining room table and water's everywhere. And look for future videos where we go into all the little products that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a demo here, so it's gonna be a series of these that we're gonna link together. We'll have instructions and directions where you can locate and find this stuff on the internet, on their show links. If you want to know how we deal with drawing on location, how we learn how to draw and measure from life, they're on our website at artsecretsstudio.com.